We've made it to the last super special secret, so congratulations on sticking with it so far. You're doing really well. The last super special secret is the miscellaneous secret. So this is basically a list of mistakes that we know that people have made and are the most common mistakes to make, and the things you want to make sure that you think about and avoid when choosing what product to launch under your brand, because these ones could have devastating consequences, such as if there's a patent that already exists on the item that you spend weeks developing and thousands of dollars on investing in, you are left with a ton of stock you're not allowed to sell, and that will be very frustrating for you. So I'm going to pull out my notes, and you can see the quick list down here that we're going to go through is size and weight, is the category gated, is there a patent, or is there a trademark, and how easy is it to sell on Amazon. So starting with the very first worry, Amazon have a thing called oversized products, and what happens is they charge more to store and to send oversized products. So you want to come to, you can just simply Google oversized products, Amazon. And it's this one down here, FBA fulfillment fees for Amazon.com orders. That'll take you to this page that we had open. And you can see exactly the cost. So it's not bad to have an oversized item, but you want to know ahead of time what fees it incurs. Because if you have a very heavy item, you can see it costs up to $134 to ship it. I mean, that's over 90 pounds. But you want to make sure ahead of time that if you're in the oversized market, which could be a good market to go into because of the less competition, how much your fees actually cost. The next one we want to look at is your category gated? If your category is gated, what you need to do is you need to make sure you source your product from a trusted supplier that Amazon approved from. We really want to get in touch with Amazon if you want to get into a gated category, because you need to email them back and forth and see the list of suppliers that you're allowed to buy your product from in order to sell in these categories. Now, just a simple Google search again, Amazon gated categories, and then this top link, that will take you back to this page, and you can see that all these categories, if you were wanting to sell them, are gated. So for example, if you wanted to sell men's watch under jewelry, you need to see what requirements you need to fulfill in order to be able to sell in that category. Now, I know this looks like there's a lot of categories that are gated. This is a mere fraction of how many categories actually exist, but it's definitely good to come in and make sure that your category is not gated. Once again, it's not bad to have a gated category. You just have to be aware of the additional requirements that Amazon requests of you, and you most likely will need to source your product from a reputable supplier that Amazon are aware of. The third thing is patents. Now, I've heard of a couple of horror stories around patents. One of my friends was selling a few $1,000s a month on his product, and then he got hit with a message from Amazon saying, hey, this product is actually patented in the USA. You can't sell it here. We've taken down your listing. And all of his income just stopped, and all his stock is just stuck at Amazon. So go to a Google patent search. Google.com/patents, and you can search through the entire patent database here. If you're launching a really big product or a really big project that you're going to invest tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars into, definitely hire a patent lawyer, pay him by the hour, and it'll cost between $400 and $1,000, and he'll make sure there's no patents out here. But if you're simply just wanting to sell a splatter screen, you can just type in the keywords, and it'll go through and tell you exactly what is patented and what's not. You have to dig a little bit deeper into the patent if one comes up to see exactly what about it is patented and are you allowed to sell it in the USA. But this is the easiest way to search them. Trademarks are very similar. So this is just a trademark search. So that is going through trademark search, USPTO. Come down here to the search trademarks, and you can search if this is more for brand names or slogans. If you're creating one of those, you can see if they are trademarked ahead of time with this trademark search. Now, we're not going to go too deep into any of these, but I'm just merely like bringing them to your attention so that before you do start your own brand, that you can get into these searches and you can make sure that the runway is clear for you to take off. The last one is not so technical, but basically it's ease. That never should be really, really hard or really stressful to source a product or to communicate with your supplier. So if it's really tough to find, for example, if you were launching Christmas collars for cats and no one would print Christmas stuff onto the collar, and you spend a week talking to over 20 suppliers and like, no, we can't do it. No, we can't do it. I'm sorry, we can't do it. Drop the product. There's a lot of products out there that are much easier to source, and it's not worth the time and the stress for something that's not really easy. So that doesn't mean as soon as you hit a little bit of resistance, drop a product, but it definitely means if you have ongoing troubles with a certain product, especially if it's a very specific problem like not being able to get a certain color or a certain way that you need and you know would sell really well, always just drop it and go to your second best option for the list of ideas that you had. So that's the miscellaneous section. Make sure you check through these 5 little things that could trip you up down the road if you weren't aware of already. What we're going to do next is we're going to jump into a lecture where, without any preparation, I'm going to be using the Jungle Scout app to generate some product ideas using the super special secret formula that we just went through. It's basically a live example of what you're going to be doing, so you can see exactly how I do it and how my brain works and the entire workflow. So let's jump into that now.